All right, welcome guys. It is right at 9 o'clock, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. I know your time is valuable, and the attendee list is continuing to grow. Again, thanks so much for taking your time to be here tonight. I love sharing my story, and I love helping other women who are looking for more to help them find what they're looking for. Go ahead on your right, you can see there's a little question and answers poll. If you have any questions throughout tonight, you can type them there, and I will try my best to answer them at the end um, if we have time. Also, go ahead and grab your pen and paper if you don't already have that. And while you're listening, I would love if you could just write down anything that you really like about what you hear, anything that piques your interest in any way, or anything that you would like to know more about. And I would love to talk to you about those one-on-one. So let's get started again. Thanks for coming, and I'm so excited that you're here. Well, there's a lot of people on, so thanks so much again. So tonight was about being stay-at-home moms. And again, for those of you who don't know me and those that are just hopping on, my name is Jama. I am the founder and editor of RingAroundTheRosies.net, a popular and fastly growing blog. I'm also a wife, mom, business mentor, and writer. I went from total tragedy and loss to transforming lives, including my own. I am a Shaklee business leader and director for over a year. I was recognized at the Global Conference last year in Las Vegas. I am on my way to earning the full car payments and the trip to Paris this year, which I'm excited about. And there's a couple of other fun facts there you can see on the left, but I will go into more details right here. So for those of you, again, who don't know me, my name's Jama. I am now a work-at-home mom to an almost 3-year-old, which doesn't seem possible. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so it was pretty much without question that I would stay at home once we had a baby. What we did not account for was the whole situation and everything that happened leading up to Elizabeth being born. We were living in Connecticut at the time. Many of you know this story. That my husband and I were living in Connecticut at the time. We were managers at a very high-end remodeling company there, and we loved what we did. But unfortunately, we both lost our jobs when I was 5 weeks pregnant. It actually happened to be the day that we told our boss I was expecting, which was a total low. But anyway, I was 5 weeks pregnant, and we both lost our jobs that day. And so because we had pretty much been responsible for a while, we began living off of our savings account until we could find a job. 8 weeks later, we found ourselves traveling home to Tennessee. My family's from Nashville, and we always came home for Christmas. And as usual, we were traveling home that day, but to make a very, very long story short, a few hours after we arrived, it was December 22nd, my mom and brother were killed in a car accident. And I never went back to Connecticut. We then started basically living off of our credit cards because we had depleted our savings accounts, and we decided that we would be moving permanently to Tennessee, but we still hadn't sold our house in Connecticut. In fact, we still have that house. And we did this until Andrew found a full-time job here in Tennessee the same month Elizabeth was born in July. Clearly, things were really, really tough, but we trusted that God would provide as he always had, and we still thought that it would be best for me to stay at home. As staying at home mom was the one thing I ever wanted to do. A year later, right after Elizabeth's first birthday, ends were getting harder and harder to meet. We were barely surviving, if you can even call it that. We were actually going an additional $450 in debt each month, which was not good at all. Um, I had a very severe case of postpartum depression combined with the grief of losing my mom and brother and just the whole move and everything combined. I honestly didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. Even for Elizabeth, just to get out of the bed in the morning was a really big struggle. I felt defeated before my feet ever hit the floor in the morning. And I know that some of you moms can relate to that. Truly, the only thing I did live for was Elizabeth. My marriage was very shaky, which I think any marriage would be after everything we had been through. Um, and so we decided that it would be best for me to probably get a job in order to pay off the debt, to come to some kind of peace. But again, the only thing I lived for was Elizabeth. I started submitting resumes and looking for jobs all over Nashville. I went on a handful of interviews, but nothing really ever came of them. And then Sarah at Three Boys, and you can see her little logo there in the middle, was kind of my saving grace. She blogged about an income opportunity from home, and I very, very hesitantly emailed her. I thought she's a big blogger. She will never take the time of day for me. She probably won't even get this email. Probably be some virtual assistant. But she emailed me back right away, like within 10 minutes actually. We spoke later that day. Things clicked almost instantly. And I knew right away that Shaklee and the Project Dream opportunity was for me. I had previously heard about Shaklee's products before as I searched for all natural products when Elizabeth was first born. Some people call it obsessive, but I call it cautious and passionate in the way that I feel about my family's health. And I didn't want to expose her to harmful chemicals, fumes, and other toxins within our home. I checked out Shaklee, and honestly, all that I saw was the $10 price tag on the Basic H. And so I just kind of moved on. I started using other organic cleaners and things, lotions and stuff for Elizabeth that I could use coupons for. And I liked them all right. It wasn't until I committed to becoming a Shaklee distributor that I realized that $10 actually accounted for what would be over 4,000 bottles of Windex, which is unbelievable. And later on in the slide, you'll see how much of that I still actually have left of that same bottle almost 2 years later. I immediately loved the products, actually so much that I told Andrew the night that my box came in that even if I never made a dime, I would never use anything else. Little did I know that 2 weeks later I'd start receiving my first bonus check. Since then, it will be 2 years in August. With the help of Project Dream, who is our team name, and the resources that they have provided us with, I have lost quite a bit of weight on the 180 products. I have total rekindled my marriage. We are living our dream life. Some of you who follow my blog know this. We just bought our dream house at only 28 years old. We love it. I need to update the slide. We paid off over $52,000 in debt last year, which is truly still brings me to my core. It's unbelievable, even still to me. And my marriage is rock solid. We are happier and in a better place than we have ever been. I was recognized on stage last year at the Global Conference and through various other events. And I am able to do it all while working from home, which is great for me. That's the most important thing for me. I do it all while working during Elizabeth's nap time and a few late nights here and there like tonight. But besides the monetary relief that Shaklee has provided me with, being able to help hundreds of other families that I have been able to help create healthier homes in addition to mine That's the true reward that Shockley's given me. It's definitely given us the chance to really live again, and we are finally in a healthy, happy state. And I know that this is what God created me for helping other families while nurturing my own. So, enough about me. That was very long-winded. This is some of the other amazing women on our Project Dream team. We're actually the fastest growing team in Shackley right now. And there's a couple of men in there too, as you can see. There's Bonnie Donahue right in the middle. She is a phenomenal, phenomenal leader. We are so blessed to have her. You can also see Erin Branscombe there, Jennifer Mead of Blissfully Ever After, Claire Layton, Kathy O'Dowd. There's just some amazing women there that I honestly now consider some of my best friends. I talk to most of these girls every single day, love them, really like sisters almost. So I love this team, cannot say enough great things about it. Here's a couple of their faces. Basically what Project Dream is about, we believe it's every person's innate right to be prosperous regardless of education, class, ethnicity, gender, or location. We believe it's every person's innate right to live fully while making an income. And truly, we have team members from all over the United States, some in Germany, Canada. We're exploding, and it is such an awesome time to be part of this amazing team. And we truly are moms making a difference. There's me again with some of those fabulous ladies I mentioned earlier. That was last August in Las Vegas. So tonight you also get the privilege of hearing from two other of my great teammates that I am so thankful to work for and have the honor to mentoring them. Kelly, are you on? I might have to scroll down and unmute you. Let me find you. There's a lot of people on here. Here we go. All right, Kelly, I think you're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and share my story. My story actually starts about 5 years ago. My husband was an airline pilot, and at the time, the funny thing is that people were always asking me if I felt nervous about my husband having such a dangerous job. But what turned out to be the ironic part was the most dangerous part of his job was the day he drove home and someone ran a stop sign and hit him, and his back was broken, and he has not been able to fly or work at all since that day. And at the time, I was 7 months pregnant with our second child, and I was in no condition to go out and find a typical job. And so, of course, the bills were piling up, and we just struggled to make ends meet with all the doctor's bills and a new baby and so many things happening at once. And about 2 years ago, my oldest son, he developed a red scaly rash on his face, and then we thought it was an allergic reaction, but we removed what we thought was the problem, and it just persisted, and it just felt like we had one problem after another just piling up, piling up. And I felt so bad for my son, and there just didn't seem to be much that we could do for him. We tried several things. It wouldn't last, and the doctor kept giving us steroids and different medicines, and I just didn't want to be putting that on my son. I just hated the idea of just giving him so many of those things at such a young age already. So the doctor finally said that he had psoriasis and eczema, and now that I had a name for that issue, I pored over books and I looked on the internet, and I questioned everyone I knew for more natural answers for my son's skin issues, and surely he would not have to be on medication for the rest of his life. I knew that the steroids would weaken the skin, and just starting him so young, I just really wanted to avoid these things. We started using vitamin E and like oatmeal baths and olive oil rubs, probiotics, just tons of things that we were trying. But the length of time between the flare-ups seemed to be less. But I just felt so overwhelmed and lost. And I wanted the best and the safest thing for my son without stressing over it all. For a year, we battled with his skin issues with no long-term results. But then my aha moment came. One day I was invited to by JAMA, actually, and I listened to a live Project Dream call like this one. And it was about a company called Shaklee, which I had never heard of before. I had no idea what that was all about. But then I discovered that it was a company that prided themselves on providing safe, all-natural, just green remedies for the very issues that my son was having. So not only that, but by using their products, I could start a business of my own just by sharing what I loved and believed in. And I had no idea at the time that I would really fall in love with the company and their ideals and, of course, their products. It just really became a clear choice that this was a perfect fit for my family. I really came across Shaklee looking for help for my son, but we were still dealing with all the results of the car accident that had left my husband unable to work and provide for our family, so we really needed an income as well. So when I was presented with a solution for my family's health and our financial solution, I truly would have been a fool not to jump at the opportunity. And that was about 9 months ago. In August of 2012, I began my journey with an amazing team of Shaklee women that so many of them have stories that are similar to mine. This company and the team have inspired me in so many ways that I never even knew I needed. There's training and support and encouragement that has meant so much to me and my family. And by using Shaklee's products, my son's skin has been completely clear now for 8 months, and all of us were healthier than we ever have been in years. We hardly ever get sick, hardly ever go to the doctor, which is just fabulous. We've replaced all of our toxic cleaners, and I just know I can trust Shaklee because they test all their products for purity. And if I can make a living sharing these things, I'm really just going to have to call that a win-win. It's just been the answer to 2 major problems that we had going on. So if you are desiring a healthier life for your family, a second income or more family time, or you just need the support of a group of like-minded women, then there's room for you in our Shaklee family. Thank you, Jama, for letting me share.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks so much I just love it. I know I was so excited the first time you emailed me and was like, oh my gosh, just get his rash is gone. It was like 3 weeks later. It was just incredible. So awesome. Thanks so much for sharing your story. You are such a blessing to have on our team.
Thanks, Jama.
Next, we have Amanda. She began her business earlier this year. She's a stay-at-home mom to 2 toddlers, and you can see a couple of other of her amazing facts. She's great. She's so fun. So I will let her tell her story if I can find her. All right, Amanda, you are live.
Hi, Jama.
Hi.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, hi, everybody. I am Amanda Donahoe, and I am a stay-at-home, now work-at-home mom to 2 little ones. They are 3.5 and 2.5. I'm also a certified athletic trainer. I love what I do as far as being an athletic trainer, so I still haven't given that up, and I have continued to work part-time. I do nights and weekends so that I can continue to stay home with my family, but I just work a little bit, just enough to get out of the house and have a little bit of me time and just stay with it, because I do love, that part of my life too, but, I am very passionate about staying with my kids, so, that's first on my list. I have had the opportunity to stay at home with my kids for the past 3 years, so I was only a working mom for about 6 months. It was about a year ago, I would say, that we realized that just one income really wasn't cutting it, and I wasn't really able to pick up the hours on the nights and weekends that was really going to supplement what we really needed in our lives, which was more than what I was making. So we realized that I was going to have to go back to work full time. Our bills were piling up, and we were barely scraping by every month. So kind of the same situation as you've heard before, and maybe some of you guys can relate to that too, but going back to work full time for me was just not an option. I mean, I've been at home for almost 3 years, and now you're telling me that I'm going to be ripped away from my family and have to go back to work. It was just heartbreaking, and that just was something that I really was not willing to make myself do. So because of that passion to stay at home, I just started searching and searching my soul, searching the internet, searching everything to find what it was that it was going to be to let me stay at home with these kids, because I wasn't going back. So I found Jema. I've been following her blog for a while, and I knew that she did something to stay at home, and she was a work-at-home mom. And I loved her blog, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what she does, and I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna do this too. So I contacted her, and she filled me in about everything she's gonna talk to you about tonight, and it just clicked with me. I just knew that was it. This is what I was gonna do. So talking over with my husband, of course, and talking to her on the phone several times, and lots and lots of soul searching, I finally joined the team mid-December 2012. It wasn't until January, after Christmas and everything was over with, that I really started getting into it. And my business took off right away in January, and I was just so pumped to finally see that this was going to happen for me, and that I wasn't going to have to go back. So really, really happy. Right now, I am on my way to paying off some of that debt that was building up. I'm not looking for a full-time job at all, and this is a mutual decision from me and my husband, who decided that this is going to work for us. But most of all, we're really leading healthier lives. And Shaklee has really started to change my life and my entire family. My kids were suffering from a lot of allergies, and I knew it was something to have to do with our home. So when we switched to Shaklee, I promise you my kids' allergies basically went away, like not overnight, but I would say within a week we were done going to the doctor. We spent probably, I don't know, maybe $700 last year on copays and prescriptions for my kids being sick. And to this day, this year, from January until now, we've paid $0 on the sick kids, and that's through winter being cooped up. So that to me is just amazing. My family, myself, my brother, and my dad have all been on the Shaklee 180, and we're losing tons of weight. So I mean, it's just really a win-win. This team has really changed my life, and I'm just really thankful that I found them. So I urge you guys to take a look at what you guys really need. Go after those dreams, because you really can make it happen for yourself. I truly believe that.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Amanda. I totally believe that too. I don't know. I always want to tear up because it's so true. So anyway, enough about us. Let's talk about what this is, how it works, what makes us different, that sort of thing. So with Shaklee, we truly provide a healthier life for everyone and a better life for anyone. So let's talk about what you want for a minute. Whether it's increased financial help, more money, maybe it's more time. Maybe you need more time with your family, more time just to relax. Maybe you're looking for better health, either a healthier home, healthier family to help others with their health, or maybe you're just looking for the luxuries of maybe a new car and an opportunity to travel. Truly think about what would make a difference for you, and write this down. What would make a difference for you and your family? Would $1,000 make a difference, or $5,000 make a difference for you? How about exploring those exotic locations? Last year, Shaklee's dream trip was to Kenya, which you can see the pretty elephants down the bottom. This year, they're taking two. The fun trip is on a 7-day cruise to the Caribbean. Again, they're all exclusively paid for. And also, the big dream trip is to Paris. I'm so excited. Always been on my dream board. Never thought it would happen. But it is. What if you could earn up to $100,000 in your first 18 months? Think about that. Or maybe you're just looking to make an even bigger impact. Shaklee is the #1 natural nutrition company in the United States. We have been around, chances are you may or may not have heard of them. We've been around for almost 60 years now, which is truly remarkable. We have 4 major product lines. We have the Healthy Nutrition, Healthy Weight, Healthy Beauty, and Healthy Home, which I will be going over in detail. So what makes Shaklee different? I know everybody asks that. Well, what makes it different? What makes it better? First of all, again, we're the #1 natural nutrition company. We're not top 10. We're not #2. We're #1. And so the Shaklee difference, what makes us different beside that, is that we are always safe, we always work, and we are always green. We do over 80,000 annual quality tests to ensure the greatest purity and potency. Over 350 tests are done on every single ingredient before it's ever put into a product, and then the products are tested again to make sure they're still as pure and potent and that there's no harmful contaminants. Again, we're the purest products on the market, and we're backed by scientific and clinical proof, not just fads. Our 2007 landmark study, which I'll go over in a minute, proves that changing brands really can change your life. And we offer sustainable products that are safe for you, your home, and your planet, and we truly are leading the environmental movement with sustained business practices. And here's just a little bit more about that landmark study. Basically, what had happened, and we compared folks who were using Shaklee supplements to those who were using just an over-the-counter, whatever you would pick up at your pharmacy, and those that were using nothing at all. And basically what they found is that people who were using the Shaklee products were much, much healthier. They had 33% lower triglycerides, much lower bad cholesterol, and the research showed that Shaklee users, 8 out of 10 of them were noted to have excellent health. How many of us can say that we have excellent health? And again, we're naturally safe, proven effective, driven by science, not just fads. We've been in over 100 scientific papers, 90 of them published in peer-reviewed journals such as JAMA, the Journal of Medicine and Nutrition, and just many different things. This is possibly the favorite part of the entire slideshow right here, is that we have been building loyalty through quality. The average Shaklee customer has been buying products for 17.6 years, almost 18 years. I cannot think of a single other company that can make that claim. Okay, but everybody doesn't know all those fancy journals. Here are some people you may know that looks familiar. Oprah Winfrey. Again, we have been on her show many, many times. She's featured us as on her Favorite Things episode. Dan Etsy, in his book Green to Gold, praised our leadership in eco-friendly business practices and strategies. Dr. Wangari Maathai, who's the former and late Nobel Peace Prize laureate, partnered with Shaklee for her Million Dreams, A Million Dreams campaign, and Brad Lamb, a regular on the Dr. Oz, loves our InShaws program. And here's some other fun people using Shaklee. I just love to share these fun facts. We are exclusively used in the White House. All of our Get Clean products are the only cleaning products used in the White House since the end of 2008, which is pretty cool. We, at the top right, you can see us with, we sponsor, I think it's 12 or 14 different Olympic athletes, many of them who won gold medals last year. Pretty impressive. We also, NASA actually contacted us this was many moons ago, to develop a product for their astronauts that would help them when they were re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. I guess they were passing out. And so we invented a product, or created a product called Astroglade. And you can see there are actual vitalizer strips flying in the spacecraft with him. So that's great. What does all that mean? Basically, people want and need what we have and offer. Some of these are probably not very shocking to you. Some of them may be. It's no surprise that the leading cause of death today is heart disease, cancer, stroke, and diabetes. What is probably shocking is how preventable they are. 80% of heart disease is preventable. 60% of cancer is preventable. These are just staggering statistics to me. Also, it's no surprise that obesity in America is on the rise. In 1960, 1 in 3 adults were considered obese or overweight, compared to 2 years ago when 2 in 3 adults are obese or overweight. The saddest part is that 2 in 5 children are now considered obese or overweight. Also, nutrition in America is on a decline. 9 out of 10 Americans fall short of nutrients in their diet. And that's partly because of all the toxins on our environment. Did you know that of the 80,000 chemicals registered for use in the United States, less than 500 of them are actually tested for toxicity by the EPA? Scientists estimate we have 200 contaminants in our bodies, and this is also true. I just read a study about how this is also true for cord blood, like blood that's in the umbilical cords of our babies. Excuse me. 20% of our lead exposure comes from our drinking water. And also from 1960 to 1995, asthma rates doubled. So changing brands really can change your life. Basically, you redirect your spending on products you already use every day, and you get naturally safe, proven effective solutions to your everyday needs. One of the great things about Shaklee is that they offer 100% money-back guarantee, even if you try the products for 30 days and decide that they don't work for you. And you also get rewards for sharing what you like about Shaklee. So now let's talk about the fun part, the products. First, we'll talk about the healthy home products. Most of you have seen these on my blog. They are always non-toxic. There's no harmful fumes. There's actually no fumes at all. They're hypoallergenic. They are organic. And again, no chemicals. They're safe for you, your home, and your planet. And there you can see my gross stove when I first bought it compared to when I cleaned it with the degreaser. And here's a couple other before and afters that you can see on my blog. I use it for absolutely everything. The Basic H, I use it for everything. I give my daughter a bath with it. I clean the carpets with it. I clean my car with it. Everything. And so with the Get Clean Starter Kit, to get the same of what comes in the starter kit, you would have to spend over $3,400 on other brands to get the same amount of usage, which is pretty incredible. And here's that same bottle of Basic H that I mentioned earlier in my story. Just to give you an idea of how long it lasts, you can see there the arrow that was 14 months later, and that's how much I still had used, or still had left after I used it on everything. And so this is how you truly do save money. And again, that's why we recommend the Get Clean products. They eliminate, each Get Clean kit eliminates 108 pounds of packaging waste. It's the equivalent of planting 10 trees. And actually, another amazing thing about Shaklee is that for every Get Clean kit that's purchased, they plant 5 trees, which is very fun. Next, we're going to move right into our healthy nutrition. Probably one of our top selling products, if not the top selling, is the Shaklee Vitalizer. It has over 80 nutrients right in the teeny tiny strip that you get. This is what was used in the landmark study we talked about earlier. Um, this is how I keep my energy. If I don't take this, like everybody around me notices because I'm just not the same. It's seriously like gold. And again, you feel better in 30 days or your money back. Um, and it has a smart delivery system, which basically means that each capsule in the strip is designed to break down at a specific point in your body at a specific time where your body needs it. It's not just going to go all through at the same time and be released and flush right out of your system like a lot of supplements do, unfortunately. So that's a cool thing about the Vitalizer. Another one of my favorite slides is this. This is the value for each of the nutrients shown below. Here is exactly what you would have to eat in order to get the same amount of nutrients down in one Vitalizer strip. And let's be honest, even if you were to buy organic foods, you probably still wouldn't get those nutrients. Vivix is another part of our healthy nutrition line and one of our top selling products. It's basically an anti-aging that works at the cellular level. It's 10 times more powerful than resveratrol alone. And guys, just the testimonies I get from this stuff is amazing, absolutely incredible. I recently heard from a woman whose hair had started turning gray, and within a couple of weeks of using the Vivix, the pigmentation in her hair was coming back. It just all kinds of crazy stuff, completely taking away seizures and migraines, and just the stories you get just bring me to tears every day. But we have a whole line of nutrient supplements for your children, for sports, for women's health, for men to deal with stress, to regulate blood sugar, just for everything. Love these products. Now we're going to move into the healthy weight. This is the Shaklee 180. Basically what makes this different, and we'll talk about this in the next slide also, but it's powered by leucine, which is the only product on the market powered by leucine, which helps you keep your muscle. So instead of losing muscle, you only lose the fat. And there you can see a quick before and after picture of myself, and that continues to shrink. And again, another thing, for each of the nutrients in one shake, you would have to eat 4 eggs, 1 cup of broccoli, cauliflower, and pineapple, 2 glasses of milk, 10 ounces of tuna, and 5 ounces of chicken. And who does that? Just kind of crazy. Oh, and the cost comparison too is great. And here's another cost comparison for comparing it for breakfast meals, fast breakfast meals. Each shake or meal bar has 24 grams of protein. So this just really surprised me, especially that Starbucks with the saturated fat and sugar. Jackie McCoy, many of you have seen her on Extreme Makeover. She used the Shaklee 180 products to help lose the weight. She is absolutely incredible. I actually am decent friends with her now. And also another fun fact is that all the teammates and also the founder, Chris, and his wife use the Shaklee Vitalizer. Next up is the Healthy Beauty. I, again, absolutely love this product line. It's the InfuCell is what it's called. Basically, it's nutrition therapy for your skin. And here you can see a before and after of Sarah. You can see that a lot of her spots disappeared, her red rosacea, the darkness. And here you can see Sarah. This is with the firming serum. You can see it works to remove like your fine lines around your eyes and your mouth and under your eyes, and you can see there the difference it made. And then you just put your makeup on right over it. Okay, so that's the fun part about the products that I love sharing. And I know you all love that, but you really probably want to know how Shaklee really works. So basically it works through social marketing, which our CEO coined that term. And in a traditional business, the products are manufactured, then they spend money to pay for advertising, and then they're shipped, and then they go to the store, and then finally they get in the consumer's hands. So there's very little room for profit. Which, with social marketing, which is what we do, the products are manufactured, I do the advertising, and they're delivered straight to you. So there's much more room for profit. And Roger Barnett, our current CEO, amazing man, he says other companies count on your word of mouth to create their value. But at Shaklee, we reward you for the value that you create. Basically, everybody knows social marketing. Obviously, if you're on here tonight, and so you can see a couple of these things. Social marketing is done by any of those, whether it's Blogger or WordPress or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. This is how our team now markets the products. So basically what you do is you sign up as a gold and you find other people who may want to join you, and in the process you find your customers and those that you want to help, and then you do it again. Shaklee truly has an incredible foundation for success. Again, we're the #1 natural nutrition company. We have almost a 60-year heritage. This slide is outdated. I need to update that number. And also, we were the first company ever to be declared climate neutral, which means we completely offset our carbon emissions. This is our headquarters in California, which I will be visiting later this fall. And here is the amazing Roger Barnett, who I mentioned earlier. He is our CEO and chairman, just an incredible man. I've had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times now. So humble. He comes from a very entrepreneurial family. He has proven successes. And he and Sloan, his wife, invested millions of dollars researching the industry, and then they offered to buy Shaklee because it was the only thing out there that met all the criteria that they wanted. So he is very, very committed to our future, and it is just a pleasure to know him. And he always seems to know you. I mean, I've only met him 3 or 4 times in the past 2 years, and he always just seems like he knows you. And I've been with other companies before in the past, before I was married and stuff, and couldn't even tell you who the CEO was. So truly, truly an incredible man. And also, Shaklee pays more. We have the most lucrative compensation plan in the industry. Basically, you set the goal that you want, you earn immediately, and you duplicate yourself, and you earn on your entire network. It's pretty phenomenal. And then it can also be passed down to your children. It's like a generational income. Pardon me. And here are real people making real money. This was taken directly from the 2011 299 statements. And you can see there that directors average $10,000 a year, which isn't too shabby. Back up to, senior executive coordinator. I showed you earlier Bonnie Donahue, our leader, and that's where she's at, all the way up to master coordinator. And again, these are just averages. Some people make a lot more than that, and some people make a little bit less. So you just kind of fill in what would make a difference for your family, and we get you there. And also, besides that, you get to enjoy the Shaklee lifestyle. The global conference this year is right here in my city, Nashville. You get to travel to the headquarters in California and also the Caribbean cruise that's coming up this winter. But you also get to make a huge, huge difference. With Shaklee, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We have cutting-edge technology. Shaklee handles all the warehouse, the distribution, the shipping, fulfillment, all the legalities of, God forbid somebody have a reaction to your product. You don't have to hold the insurance and stuff for that. So they handle all that. We have meetings like this online. We do conferences. We do local meetups. We have amazing customer service, state-of-the-art personal websites, and lots of training in line for you. Our team is actually teamed up with an amazing business leader, coach, and we also have teamed up with a social media expert who we love and depend on. And we also just launched our own amazing website, projectdreaminternational.com. You can see that right there. And all the training and stuff is in place for you and outlines exactly what you need to do to get your business up and running so that you can meet your goals as quickly as possible. So truly think about the possibilities and what would make a difference for you. We are, Project Dream. So we would love for you to join us. Again, we believe that the only way to achieve our dreams is to help others achieve theirs. So what do you do next? If you're interested and you're serious about earning an income from home, about changing your family's life, about helping others do the same, whether you're just looking to change out your products and get healthier, non-toxic products, or you're truly looking to make an income sharing them, we would love to help you. Basically, we get you signed up. Try out the products, experience them, and then we put together your action plan and you start building your own business. Or, you can say thanks but no thanks. That sounds great, but I'm not in the business. I'm not looking for business right now. You can also just sign up as a Shaklee member and enjoy 15% off all Shaklee products for life. You get additional 10% off with auto ship orders. You get access to your own website that you can share. It also has training there that you can learn all about the products and the science behind the products and how they work. And actually, when you complete that, you get a free product. And you also get access to our exclusive members-only forum. So, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I can't wait to help you and walk this journey with you. So if you're ready to truly create a positive change for you and your family or the world, I would love for you to email me. Because my schedule is growing and our team is growing so quickly, I only truly have time to work with those who are serious, those who know they need to make a difference, those who are really looking to make an income, and who, are dependable and self-motivated, and I would love to help them. The first 5 people who joins, they will receive an additional $100 in free products from me. That's just a gift for you for tonight. And so there's my email address right there. You can write it down. It's also on Facebook and on blog. I just love to end always with this slide, and it says, your future life will be exactly what you decide to make it. And that was quoted by our founder, Dr. Forrest Shaklee. So whatever you're looking for, I'd love to help you. Again, thank you so much for attending tonight. I know your time is so valuable. And it's already getting late. Yep, it's 10 minutes till 9. So there's quite a few questions that came through. What I will do is I will just email you back for the sake of everybody's time. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to help you and help you meet your goals. And I will see you all later. Thanks.